when Zomato went public, it was like the talk of the town. It is still talk of the town. But very big fundamental change is that the stock went from 150 to 40. How did you react to it?
I actually didn't react to it. I think somebody told me, and I don't look at the stock price, by the way. So somebody told me that the stock price had gotten there, and somebody told me that the stock price had gotten there as well.
Who is this somebody?
Someone WhatsApps me, like some random person, right? And internally, we don't talk about the stock price at all. And my reaction was like, okay, this is not actually real. This doesn't make sense. And when it got to the bottom, I had the same reaction. This doesn't make sense. So I don't know what makes sense, but neither of these highs and lows
So
make
what
sense.
makes sense according to you?
I have no idea. Somewhere in the middle, right? But so I was always like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. So it's okay.
But
Life will catch up.
since you were amongst one of the first consumer tech company, the new tech internet company, which used the word path to profitability. It was like saying that when you were in a private arena, the rules were different. Now in the public arena, the rules are different. Has the transition from the private market to the public market forced you to start thinking about cash flows, profitability?
I would say no, because I think for the first 5-7 years of our life, we were actually profitable. In 2018, we also hit a profit. So I think whenever we have burnt money, it's mainly because the market has forced us to do it, and competition has forced us to do it, right? So there was a point in time where the competition raised $1 billion, and we had about $100 million in the bank. Right? We still had to fight that much money with a lot less cash. So we've been efficient overall, I think. I mean, and profitability is also, I mean, we try to get there as soon as possible. I don't like to burn cash.
So if the stock would have been at 200 right now, your path to profitability, your commitment to what you've shared with the market would have not changed.
Would have been the same, at least for the business that the core of the business that we are in, right? So Blinkit is something new, and I think of the entire business in terms of sum of parts, right? So I don't think of it as one large P&L. So Zomato would have made money; it would have been on the same path. Blinkit would have been on the same path, right? So maybe we would have done something else, like maybe a third bet, right? But I don't think that us taking a third bet or not taking a third bet has anything to do with the market, right? It is to do with whether we actually believe that some bet is worth taking or not.
Fair point. So let's look at the transition. The transition for Zomato from big cities to small cities. In your last quarterly numbers, you've said business is slowing down. Now Indians are eating more, we're dining out less, we're experimenting from chaat to sushis, which means we want to eat much more. Is this temporary inflation which has hit the growth of the business? Is that the reason why the business has hit a mature curve?
I don't think it has actually hit a mature curve. It was a temporary 2-3 month phase, I think, right? And we also said it in the last letter that we think that we're almost back in action in terms of growth. I think it was probably due to a lot of weddings. There was inflation as well. There was a lot of layoffs as well. So I think it's a bunch of things, just like sort of flattened us out for a bit. But yeah, but I think, I mean, this market should grow 10-20x over the next decade. So
Why do you think like that?
I mean, Indians, they still largely eat at home, right? Okay. So, and our frequency here is about 3.5 times a month of ordering out or like going to a restaurant outside. And when you compare to countries like US, China, the frequency is like almost 7-8 times more. So, and the penetration, I mean, a lot less people are part of the system right now. And in the US and China, everybody orders and everybody eats out. So the number of people and the frequency at which they eat out has yet to grow. And this 10-20x still actually sitting out there.